Hello everyone, today I'm going to be talking about why you need to use a mortgage broker. So a lot of people tend to ask, why do I need to use a mortgage broker? What benefit does that have to me? So the main reason that you would use a mortgage broker is because we are acting on your behalf and we are doing all the work for you. However, in this video, I'm just going to go through some points and some main reasons why you would use a mortgage broker and how that would work for you. Number one, we can find the best deal for you. You could walk off the street in any bank or building society, your own bank or any other, and see what kind of mortgage deal they can offer for you. Whilst they may potentially be able to offer you a mortgage deal, it's only going to be their own products that they can offer. So for example, you could walk into NatWest and they will offer you a rate of, for example, 4% fixed. That could mean absolutely nothing to you, and down the road where you haven't checked, Halifax could offer you a rate of 3.5% fixed. Again, that means nothing to you because those products could have different fees, they could have different eligibility criteria. So how do you know which deal is best for you? So that is where we come in as brokers. So what we will do is we will use a tool to source which product is first of all cheapest. Once we've found that cheapest product that fits your needs, we will make sure that you fit the criteria of that bank or building society. So for example, we find the cheapest deal with one bank and you don't meet their criteria, we will then go to the next best option. If you meet their criteria, that's where we will make a recommendation and we will apply for that mortgage for you. Now, a different trick that a lot of the banks and building societies use to try and hook you in, to try and get you to do things their way or just apply to them, is they will show you what we call their headline rate. So for example, one bank might show you a rate of 3.2% and they will say that's fixed for 2 years, and they'll give you very little other information about that particular product. They may also have a product that is at, for example, 4%. That isn't the best rate they've got or the lowest rate, so they won't necessarily show you that one. Now what they won't tell you is that lowest rate they've showed you at 3.2% actually has an arrangement fee of, for example, £1,000. Now what we would do as brokers is we would look at the product with a fee and also without a fee. We'd make a direct comparison between the two and we decide of those two which was actually cheapest. So if you add £1,000 on your mortgage or pay £1,000 for that particular rate, you might not actually save £1,000 back to make it most cost effective to go with that rate. So like I say, that's where we come in and we make sure that we choose the cheapest overall rate for you and also the one that best fits your needs and you also fit the eligibility criteria. We will make sure that we speak to particular contacts that we have within those banks and building societies. So if you have a complex set of circumstances or there's something just a little bit quirky or a little bit different, we can make sure that we find a bank or a building society that are most likely to accept you. Number two, we complete the application on your behalf. We do all of the paperwork side of things and we keep you updated throughout the whole process. So once we've decided which mortgage product we're going to apply for, I will then explain what kind of documents I need from you. You would then send me your documents and then I will make the application to the lender. So I'll need to fill out an application form and I'll also send them your documents to support what it is that we're telling them, and they will do what we call underwrite your case. So they will have a little look at it and make sure that everything stacks up. If they're happy with everything, then they'll make a mortgage offer. Now, during that process, those underwriters can come back with various different questions. So they might ask, for example, why there is something shown on your bank statement or why your pay looks a little bit different one month to the next. So that would be our job to make sure that we answer all of those questions and make sure that everything goes smoothly through to offer. Now, during that period, the only thing I would need to do is come back to you to ask you the additional questions and ask you to supply more documentation should that be needed. You don't need to have any further involvement with that process. Once we've got a mortgage offer, we can then liaise with the solicitor so we can let them know the position that we're in and what stage we're at. We can also keep in touch with estate agents, and of course we'll keep in touch with yourself during that process to make sure you know exactly what is happening. But the main point to make here is that there is nothing for you to do other than answer questions and send some documents. If you were to go and do this yourself, you would have to fill out the application form yourself, you would have to notify all of the relevant parties that are involved with the transaction, and it all becomes a little bit messy and a little bit time consuming as well. So that's where we come in, we take that off your hands completely and do all of the hard work for you. Number 3, it doesn't cost you anything at all. So outside the box mortgages don't charge any fees for any advice that we provide or any mortgage applications that we process. Now, some brokers will charge a fee, so that is entirely their decision whether they charge that fee. However, we don't. So if you come to us and we find you the best mortgage deal that's most applicable for you, then you won't be charged any fees for us doing that. The only fees you may be charged are associated with the lender. For example, they might have a valuation fee or an arrangement fee, but again, that will be factored into the advice and we'll make sure that it's still the best deal for you, even with that factored in. Number 4, finally, we'll be able to make sure that you are properly protected as well. So the main types of cover that we'll be looking at here are life cover, critical illness and income protection. Now, there will be a separate video which explains what those types of cover are and what they can do for you. However, the main point here is that we can make sure that you are properly protected, and we can do that all at the same time alongside applying for the mortgage. Now, if you went directly to a bank or a building society, they may be able to refer you to somebody else that could give you that advice, but it is going to be 2 different transactions that you're doing. Whereas if you do that with ourselves, we'll make sure that everything is done under one roof and it's all done at the same time for you. Again, there's no cost for any kind of advice that we provide on that side of things, and we'll make sure that it all fits within budget. So that is the main reasons that you would use a mortgage broker. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for some more videos on some other topics, for example, protection.